Bitcoin just broke through an all-time high. And here's what's fascinating. This surge was triggered by Trump's election win and his pro-Bitcoin stance. Could this lead to Bitcoin becoming a reserve asset for the US, much like gold? This isn't the first time something like this happened. Back in 1934, President Roosevelt signed the Gold Reserve Act, raising gold prices by 69% and cementing it as a critical US asset. Could Bitcoin be heading down a similar path? We'll dive deeper into that later, but first, let's look at how Trump's proposed Bitcoin Act could change everything. In today's video, we're exploring how Trump's win could set Bitcoin on the record-breaking path, the details of the Bitcoin Act, and why some experts are worried about volatility and manipulation. Whether you're a Bitcoin holder or just a crypto curious, you'll want to know about these potential changes and what they mean for your future and the future of the dollar, gold, and Bitcoin. And if you want to stay ahead of the latest in crypto and trading, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Donald Trump's recent election victory has sent shockwaves through the financial markets, and nowhere is that effect more pronounced than in the cryptocurrency sector. In the days following his win, Bitcoin surged to a record highs, breaking through 80,000 for the first time ever. But this isn't just a reaction to political headlines. It's a part of a broader story where Bitcoin is moving towards mainstream acceptance under a leader who is openly pro-crypto. Trump has signaled that he sees Bitcoin as a digital asset with enormous potential, not only for private investors, but also a strategic asset for the country itself. This stands in sharp contrast to previous administrations, which were more cautious about crypto. Under Trump, the US may embrace Bitcoin as a fundamental part of the national economic strategy, and investors are clearly responding to this possibility by driving up the prices of Bitcoin. To understand what Trump's Bitcoin Act could mean for the future cryptocurrency, let's look back at how the US has treated strategic assets before, specifically gold. During the Great Depression, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Gold Reserve Act in 1934. This act made gold a formal part of the US Treasury's reserves and raised the official price of gold from $20.67 to $35 an ounce, a 69% increase. This revaluation dramatically raised the value of the country's gold reserves, solidifying gold as a safeguard for the US economy. Fast forward to 1944, and we see the US taking another big step with the Bretton Woods Agreement. This agreement established the US dollar as the world's reserve currency backed by gold. Other currencies were pegged to the dollar, and the US agreed to exchange dollars for gold at a fixed rate of $35 per ounce. This structure not only stabilized the dollar, but also elevated the US dollar's global demand as it became the primary reserve currency for other countries. However, in 1971, President Nixon made a major shift by ending the convertibility of the dollar to gold, effectively suspending the gold standard. This allowed gold to float freely in the market, and its price skyrocketed. Gold went from a fixed rate of $35 per ounce to over $800 by the end of the 1970s. As demand surged, inflation soared, and investors sought a hedge. Imagine a similar trajectory for Bitcoin if it's designated as a strategic asset. Just as gold's value surged when it became part of the US Treasury, Bitcoin could follow a similar path, soaring above $100,000, $120,000. These moments in history show how assets like gold were brought into the US financial system to stabilize the economy, provide a hedge against inflation, and secure the US's economic standing. Could Bitcoin be the next in line to join the US Treasury as a strategic asset? Trump's Bitcoin Act suggests that just might. One of the most pivotal pieces of legislation on the table is the proposed Bitcoin Act. This isn't any crypto-friendly policy. It aims to designate Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset for the US. If passed, the US government could acquire up to 5% of Bitcoin's total supply, putting Bitcoin on the same footing as gold in the eyes of US financial policy. This act was actually introduced by a US Senator, Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming, a vocal advocate for cryptocurrency. Her plan, named Boosting Innovation, Technology, and Competitiveness Through Optimized Investment Nationwide, or the Bitcoin Act, proposes that the US acquire 1 million BTC over the next 5 years. The ambitious goal here is to reduce the national debt while positioning the US as a leader in the cryptocurrency adoption. The vision behind the Bitcoin Act is not just to lend legitimacy to Bitcoin, but to create a sort of digital gold standard. If adopted, the act could cement Bitcoin's role as a reserve asset, almost as influential as gold for the national economic security. Imagine Bitcoin held in national reserves. This would send a powerful message that the US government trusts Bitcoin's long-term value and its strategic utility. The potential benefits of the Bitcoin Act could be groundbreaking. By designating Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, the US government would lend Bitcoin a new level of legitimacy that could drive institutional interest and investment and prices even higher. Major players in finance, from hedge funds to insurance companies, might see this as a green light to dive deeper into crypto as an asset class in general, accelerating Bitcoin's growth and potentially pushing its value to unprecedented levels, like $200,000. Another important aspect is the influence of Elon Musk, who is strongly pro-crypto and reportedly has the ear of President Trump. With Musk's support, the chances of passing the Bitcoin Act are even higher. Analysts at CoinShares note that this new approach, combined with fiscal conservatism, could bolster Bitcoin's position as a hedge against inflation. Bitcoin often benefits from environments where monetary policy remains loose while fiscal policy is tight, making it an appealing source of value in uncertain economic times. However, it's important to realize that not everyone is convinced that making Bitcoin a strategic asset is a wise move, so there will be a battle. Critics argue that the inherent volatility of Bitcoin would expose the US to substantial risks. Bitcoin is known for its extreme price swings. Imagine the impact on the national reserves if Bitcoin's value plunged sharply, or some sort of technological issue. There's also the concern about market manipulation. Unlike traditional assets, Bitcoin's markets are relatively unregulated, which makes them vulnerable to price manipulation by large holders. If the US held a significant portion of Bitcoin, these players could influence the market, potentially destabilizing Bitcoin and broader economic confidence. Critics also worry about Bitcoin's sensitivity to external factors, from global regulatory changes to the actions of major crypto exchanges. They question whether relying on such an unpredictable asset could truly protect America's financial interests, or if it might expose the country to unnecessary risks. If passed, the Bitcoin Act would likely send shockwaves through the crypto market, driving unprecedented levels of mainstream adoption. Designating Bitcoin as a strategic asset could boost its global credibility, encouraging financial institutions, investors, and possibly even other countries to follow suit. This shift could also ignite a wave of innovation in the broader crypto market, with the Bitcoin Act serving as a signal that the US government is serious about supporting digital assets. So it's very, very important. With Trump's administration openly backing Bitcoin, we might see record-breaking inflow from institutional investors, which could lead to new infrastructure, security advancements, and accessibility improvements across the industry. And I think this is really going to happen. So in summary, Bitcoin's surge is not just a financial milestone. It's a signal that a revolution in digital assets may be on the horizon. Trump's proposed Bitcoin Act could reshape Bitcoin's role in the US economy, much like the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 did for gold, by giving it the credibility of a true national reserve asset. But with this opportunity comes risks, and the critics worry about volatility and potential manipulation. This isn't just about the price of Bitcoin, it's about the future of digital assets on the global stage. So, is this the dawn of a new era for Bitcoin? Or are we stepping into uncharted, risky territory? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this could be a turning point for Bitcoin and for the entire crypto market, and there could be much more upside on the horizon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on trading, crypto, finance, Forex, the dollar, and videos like this. And let us know, should Bitcoin become a US reserve asset? Please type in your thoughts in the comments below. Lastly, if you are interested in trading Bitcoin, you can do so with some of our broker partners and prop trading firm partners. Please check out the description and link below for our favorite prop trading and broker firms.